Gary Thardish on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. I'm Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing. And with me as always, well, not always, you were gone last week.
Yes, I was. I was here but gone. I mean, I was in the city.
Okay, very good. But how'd you do? Did you golf?
No, I sponsored a hole. So I just had a lot of fun and made a lot of people laugh and gave away a lot of stuff. And it was a great time.
There you go.
But I did pay for a team. They did not come in first, second, or third.
Oh,
but they didn't come in.
Were you gambling on it? Did you put some money on your team?
On the team I had, no. No. No, I think I know the team I should have gambled on it. I would have been correct.
Yeah, there's always a couple of teams in there that you could lay your money down on. Right? Well, today our show is sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services and the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce. Jason Ball is actually going to come talk to us next week. So
good.
That ought to be good. Today, though, I'm excited for today. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. We have Brian Eckleberry with us in studio. And how you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, fellas. I appreciate it. It is beautiful to be with you beautiful people on this beautiful Saturday morning.
Well, and, it's so funny because Brian and I actually worked together for quite some time. Now I'm gonna kind of sandbag you here, but do you remember the last time that you and I shared this studio? You were the host of Drive Time Lincoln.
Yes. And
you were doing endorsements for some window company. It was an indestructible window company. And we did all kind. I would come in because are you in Taekwondo or?
I am yes.
Martial artist. Anyway,
I know Taekwondo. Yeah.
I would hold on to the window and he would karate kick this thing. We would try and break this window during his endorsement. And the last time I thought, I have an idea. I came in this studio. I was standing about where you were. The window was about where I'm at. And I brought in a 9-iron. And we had a buddy of mine on the phone who was a professional golfer giving tips on how to hood this thing. So I don't kill somebody. And I hit this thing cleaner than I thought.
Yeah.
And this golf ball was ricocheting around this studio. Yep. Brian hit the deck.
Oh, man.
And it went off the TV back when it was over there. And I think it hit the control panel. And
it hit everything. It was like a snookers game or a billiards game. It was amazing. Yeah.
It was great. Insane. It was insane.
Men just remained in kindergarten our whole lives, don't we?
We do.
Really.
We really do.
We'll take any chance to play like we're a kid again.
That's right. That's no kidding.
I think that's kind of a Louis Grizzard, if you guys know that author thing, always be a kid, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
always keep that in you.
So true.
And we did, probably to our detriment.
We had so much fun. So much fun.
And that was your last time together?
Because
of the golf ball?
I mean, I did some call-in stuff once in a while. Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that. I think Brian got in a lot of trouble for that.
I always
got
in trouble. GM. Well, minute endorsements turned into 8-minute segments all the time. And, I always tried to justify it. I'm like, well, I'm making it entertainment. He's like, you're giving the client 8 minutes when they get 1 minute.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining.
It was.
It was
good radio.
Yeah.
It was good radio.
It was good radio.
But we brought Brian in because Brian is actually opening up a restaurant.
What?
I know. Yeah. That's what I said.
I'm doing that.
I've been perusing the menu and now I'm very hungry.
Yeah, I'm sitting here going, how do you go from radio to restaurateur? I'm like,
how did that happen?
Laying in bed and you rolled over and said, honey, we have too much money and not enough gray hair. I've got an idea.
That is, we don't have enough money and I got way too much gray hair. But no, it was an interesting story. So I had, I'm going to air quote this, retired as a professional marketer, right? So, and Annette, my wife, graciously said, you know what? I think it's a great. She's one of those folks that counts the summers you have left in the world.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. And that's healthy.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, am I doing the right thing with these? What do I have now? 20 summers, whatever it is.
Right.
So she said, honey, we're at a place right now where you could do a few jingles every now and then. I do jingles, radio jingles, stuff like that. You can be a musician. We can do these gigs. We have a lot of performances coming up that are lucrative. So why don't you stop beating yourself up for this last part of your life and just do music? You are a great musician. You love doing it. I said, you know what? That's a great idea. So she became my sugar mama, of course.
Nice.
I missed out on that opportunity.
Listen, you
Get
got
married up.
Yep. I did marry up, but
I recommend it if you can. But I was sugar mama with air quotes too, because, listen, I had breakfast on the table every morning, and then all day I did little silly jingles and stuff like that. But we were looking, my daughter graduated high school, went to UNL. So we were empty nesters, sort of, they came home for weekends. So we were thinking, what's the next chapter here? And this ad for this restaurant bar in Wahoo, Nebraska came up, and it was almost a too reasonable a price for this restaurant. And at first we were like, do we want a restaurant bar? Do we want that hassle? I called my friend Tom, who owns Blue Sushi, stuff like that from Flagship Restaurant Group. And he immediately said, yeah, don't do it. Never buy a restaurant or a bar. I was like, well, you own like 20 of them. I don't do it. It's horrible. Called Mike DiGiacomo, who owns the some other. Don't do it. No way.
So of course.
But then I called him back. I said, hey, listen, I can buy the building. They were like, do it right now.
There you go.
Buy it. Yep. Whether you sit on it or not, buildings are great investments.
You can't get hurt.
Restaurants are horrible. Is a horrible business. It's tough. It's long hours. But if you can get that building, do it. So both of them just flipped like that when they heard there was real estate involved. And so we toured Wahoo. The chamber gave us a really long tour of the entire town before we made this purchase. We said, this is going to happen. We've always wanted to live, and this is not just putting the shine on this thing. Okay. We've always wanted to live in a small town above a business and be part of a small town and get out of the burbs.
So you're not in Bennington anymore?
No, we left. We loved Bennington. We loved watching its growth. We loved watching all the corn just disappear, because when we moved out there was a lot of corn around us.
Not anymore.
Yeah. It was actually at 100, if you folks who might know Bennington, at 170th and State where we moved,
right,
there's now possibly a grocery store and a Starbucks going on out there.
Yep.
So, but we loved that. Not in Bennington anymore. We are permanent Wahoo, Nebraska residents, and we love it so much. The people are so great. They're so supportive. They love seeing us get up in the morning and all the businesses wave at us. It's a little bit unnerving because sometimes we're still in our jammies downtown Wahoo.
I love it.
It is fun.
But you got to love, because I was the same way. I grew up in Cleveland. I've lived in St. Louis and lived in New York and Denver and all these places. And when I moved out to Panama, Nebraska, right, it was like, oh my gosh,
wow,
I'm in Mayberry. At first, it's a shock, and now I wouldn't have it any other way. You couldn't pay me enough to move to a city.
So what's the downtown Wahoo like?
Downtown
revitalizing? Is it?
We are proudly part of the revitalization, but I shouldn't say revitalization. I'm going to say bolstering of the downtown, because
good description.
What had happened is that restaurant had always been sold and not closed down. And so all of the problems that were there from the previous owners just kind of stacked on top of each other. Old things that should have been repaired, walls that should have been, fixed.
Deferred maintenance for decades. Kind of thing. Sure.
Way deferred.
Well, so our friend Stacy just bought a building down there.
Yes.
In Wahoo for photography. That's going to be really cool. She's really fixing that up nice.
She's going to be our photographer for Riffs. So
nice.
It's awesome. She's going to take our pictures. So the folks were really down about the property. They were, they loved it. As a matter of fact, I started posting some pictures about stuff that had been left in the freezers, for maybe too long. And immediately the town just said, take that down. We've got a lot of community spirit here. I was like, well, you ate there. But I saw that immediately that, yes, I'm going to take that down. They were very proud of this old restaurant that might not have been given the best service in the world, but it was part of their downtown.
Yeah, it's part of their culture, so to speak. Yeah.
So I understood completely. So we're hoping that side of downtown, we're hoping to really bolster that.
And so
elevate it.
And the building, I kind of looked it up. So it's a 3-story building, right?
It is. We have the 2 stories above is where we live.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
Sweet.
man. That is awesome.
You should see my legs. I am getting some exercise. My butt has never looked better. Those stairs are just killing me.
Yeah.
Especially
10, we'll cover that again in 10.
That is fantastic.
I want to talk a little bit about concept when you come back, like just a restaurant and bar, or it's going to be more of an experience. And I know music is a big part of your life. So
you heard what
awesome. People like to go out. I remember when Venue Restaurant opened and they were all about, this is an experience. It's not just, just going out to eat.
Right.
And family and community and all that. So this is great tying it in with music and everything too. It'll be an experience.
Yeah, this is going to be cool. Well, we got a break coming up here, so we are going to run to that real quick. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. We're talking with Brian Eckleberry from Riffs Pub and Patio. We'll be right back.
Stories of local success. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're back on the 402 Business Insider. We're talking with Brian Eckleberry at Riffs. This segment is sponsored by Western National Bank and the Lincoln Airport. Did either of you guys see the video that the Lincoln Airport put out?
No.
The top 5 things to do in Lincoln, Nebraska?
No. Was it real?
Oh, my God. No. It's hilarious. And
intentionally?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Very intentionally. Yeah. I'll have to show it to you after this break. But I think it's like 1.2 million views already.
It's like Nebraska. And, not for everybody.
Yeah. Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. I was talking with Rachel. She said one of her interns did it, Tyler. So, Tyler, if you're listening, I doff my hat to you. 25 years in marketing, I have not been able to get a video over 1 million, and an intern. A dang intern did it.
Of course.
I can't do it in 25 years.
That's how it works.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's on our the 402 Insider Facebook page.
Oh, good.
So if listeners want to go check it out, go check it out. It's fantastic.
Should I do it now or just keep working?
We should probably talk to a few people on the radio, and then we'll do it. So
that's great.
So Brian, tell us. So you decided to move to Wahoo.
Wahoo.
You bought the building.
Yes.
What are some of the trials and tribulations? Because I know, because Gary's in real estate, I'm in real estate. There's a lot of nightmares when you shut down and realize, oh, geez, that's brick. I got to tuck point that, and all those fun things. Tell us about that experience.
Well, the first challenge is, even you can have all the inspections you want, they are not going to find everything.
No.
It's impossible until you start digging in.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. So the first challenge is blowing up your budget. I think a wise man, maybe in this room, told me just double that. When you think you're settled, just go ahead and double that.
Yeah.
So that would have been a wise move. But budget gets blown up. The second challenge was, well, first of all, the city was amazing to work with.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
The permits are, I've got his permits and inspection. I have his cell phone number in Wahoo.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Good.
I'm just, instantly. Yeah. Let me come over and look at that. See if I can keep you from getting into trouble, which is important while you're doing those renovations. And just, check this out. Make sure I don't get this whole thing finished and you come back and find something.
Yeah.
So,
and then I got to rip things out and redo, and you don't want to go down that road.
We don't. So budget was a challenge. The other biggest challenge, it does also have to do with budget. I underestimated how much more commercial equipment costs than consumer equipment.
Yeah.
The restaurant, when I bought it, they had a lot of consumer grade stuff in there.
Yeah.
A lot of white freezers, stuff like that. So I had the wise idea of saying, we're going to get commercial in here because it is more efficient. It lasts longer. It's safer for food. So as soon as I traded in that old $200 white freezer, I was like, I'm going to get another one. It's like, what? They're $8,000. I'm like, what is this? Well, it's got stainless steel on it. And I was like, I need to put some stainless. But yeah, it's expensive for a reason. A lot of it is expensive because it's made domestically. So that raises the price up a lot. As a matter of fact, I'll tell a great story. There was a local company that came in. The range was not working, right? And we had a choice to make. So we could buy something that's straight off the boat. If anybody knows what that means, we could buy something that's straight off the boat for $6,000, or he could put $4,000 into this old piece of metal from Cleveland. Well, it was North Carolina. In North Carolina.
You said Cleveland run.
Yeah, don't do Cleveland. Stainless steel, thick as the width of a pencil. I mean, just thick stuff.
Yeah,
made in the USA.
Like they don't make anymore.
Built right, like they don't make anymore. So the technician said, "Well, you're going to think I'm talking you into this big expense, but I think you should bring this old beauty back to life." And it was almost the same price as a new one that would be half as thin, last half as long, right? So 100% went ahead and says, I got you tariffs. I'm going to get, we brought that old baby back to life. So equipment was the other challenge. I didn't realize how much more expensive that was. Those were the two major challenges. And contractors, of course, they say 2 weeks. And what do they mean? They mean 2 months.
Yeah.
That's what they mean.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months if you're lucky. That was going to be one of my questions, is finding people, because being in a small town, I have difficulty finding people who want to come out to Panama to work.
Yeah.
If I got to get a bid, I have to call 10 people, which 2 of them will show up. 1 of them will get me a bid. And guess who's getting the work? One person, because nobody wants to come outside of town.
It is a challenge. And I made the mistake of going from where I'm from, I'm from the Bennington area and stuff, and finding folks that I might have worked with there instead of reaching out to the local community, because that was a mistake. The contractor didn't work out for us. And we were in dire straits. We needed to get this thing finished. just like I said to the old contractor, do you realize that every week you delay, we're losing thousands of dollars?
Yeah,
correct. Sure.
We've only got outgoing here. We have no income at all, no revenue at all. And he was like, yep, I got you. But we had, so when we lost him, I immediately reached out to the local community for help. I said, I need general contractors. I need all of this. They almost swarmed the restaurant like they were coming to eat.
I love
to
it.
Come together. Wahoo came together for Riffs Pub and Patio.
It's like the Amish raising a barn. Everybody showed up to help.
It felt like that.
That's awesome.
Do you need a check? Nope. Don't bother me with your check. Don't insult me with your check. You need a down payment to get? Nope. Don't. Materials? Nope. Just sit back. Let's get this thing open. That was the attitude.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yep.
So, so what made you decide on Riffs? What's the whole idea behind the concept?
Well, Riff is a memorable musical melody, right? A riff. So if you're thinking about Walk This Way, right? That's a riff.
Okay.
Or another riff like Saturday in the Park. Bum, 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 bum. That's a riff. It's not a solo riff, but it is a riff. So it's memorable. It's catchy. Stays with you.
I'm singing it now in my head. So
Riffs. We named it Riffs. And we're musicians. We've been musicians in the local area for over 25 years. So it was natural with it. We wanted a music theme. So Riffs Pub and Patio, it came pretty quick for us what to name it. So it was fun.
So what's the idea behind what makes you, what's your idea? What's your differentiating idea? What makes it your idea unique? Because there are a bunch of restaurants.
Sure. I come out. What's my experience?
Yeah.
Your experience is you're going to see vintage instruments on the wall. You're going to see warm lighting, and you're going to have a stage around the corner from you. So the experience is going to be very fun. I want people to yell at each other, not meanly, but if something, if
where's the beef?
Yes, or if a patron has to ask, hey, how I want to add fries to that. I want the server to go, they want fries. I get your fries. I want an upbeat, fun atmosphere, like me, and you're a musician, and like my fellow musicians, we have that atmosphere all the time. So I want them to get that experience of what kind of fun we have playing music and being around music. And the live music is, I would like the servers to sing karaoke if they feel like it.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Just grab a mic.
That would be great.
Because I'm going to hook it up with wireless microphones, and quite a few of them have said they don't mind throwing down on some Britney Spears while they're waiting for their pop to be filled behind the bar.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. And then live entertainment, obviously, because you said there's a stage.
Yes, live entertainment Thursday through Saturday. I put in a stage. I use part of the patio. Now, this thing's neat when you guys come out. There's two sections to the patio. There's Patio A, Patio B. Patio A is 4-season. Patio B, as soon as I get it gassed up out there with the heaters, will be a 3-season. But Patio A and Patio B are divided by garage doors.
Okay.
So it instantly becomes open air to downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That'll be cool. Because then, definitely. I mean, you could hear it like, what's going on down there? If you're a block away,
you can
hear what's going on.
My apologies. There are some apartments downtown kind of near us, and I said, listen, you're going to probably eat for free once a week or so. So just, hey, call me first if you would.
Yeah.
Of course, local law enforcement is like, we'll call you, Brian, we'll watch out for you. So that was also the nice thing is local law enforcement were so nice. Any questions I had, local administration and law enforcement, any questions I had, it's like, I've got to park on the street overnight. I apologize. Like, we got you. We'll watch out for it. That small town thing, I really forgot because I grew up in a small town. I really forgot how that works.
So do you like to cook? Is that a thing with you guys, or the restaurant was just an avenue to bring out the music and the experience?
I actually managed a restaurant in the early 90s. It was first called the Revolving Door Deli in the basement of the Westroads Mall.
Okay.
When there was a restaurant down there. And
Revolving Door
the
Deli.
owners, after I was a karaoke host, they said, you know what? You've got it all together. I love the Air Force experience. I was a veteran of the United States Air Force. They said, would you like to manage the restaurant? I said, yeah, I'd love to manage the restaurant. Would you like to flip this to a 50s diner? I was like, okay. So they sent me to spy on the Blue Sky Diner in Des Moines I slept at a hotel there and spied on them for 2 weeks. They were wondering why I was ordering everything on the menu. And so that was the restaurant experience, which I really loved. I loved managing a restaurant.
There we go.
It was fun. So I loved the people too.
Oh, wow.
Sure. Yeah.
So tell us then, I mean, obviously Westroads is gone, but you came back, you copied the Blues Diner.
Blue Sky Diner. Yeah, it went very well. Every now and then we had this thing where I would stand on a stool, on a chair, and hold a malt up like this. And then the servers would hold a glass above their face. And I would start my pour and pour the malt from up there. I didn't miss much, but some waitresses got some chocolate malt in the face. But that was part of the experience too.
Yes.
So I do want to integrate some amazing, unique experiences for folks that visit Riffs.
I love it. We'll have to reenact that. I'll bring Gary up. We'll reenact that, and we'll see if
I just happen to have a malt.
Hey, wait. Okay. Yes, I can videotape you.
I have a malt right here, Gary. Let's do it.
Wonderful.
How'd that happen?
Great.
All right. Well, we got to run to a break here. You are listening to the 402 Business Insider, talking with Gary.
I like
Brian
Eckleberry.
My gosh,
it was Gary and Eckleberry.
It was Gary across the hallway. Good Lord. We'll be right back after this.
That's funny.
Building business, one story at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're back on the 402 Business Insider, talking with Brian Eckleberry from Riffs Pub and Patio. And this segment sponsored by Complete Family Dermatology and Sartor Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, and down south at the mall. Just gotta love Sartor Heyman Jewelers. So.
They were one of my favorite clients when I was a production director here in this building.
Good guys. Yeah. Miss Don. We've been doing their stuff for 28 years before I even worked at KLIN.
Nice. I remember that.
You and me and Don and Rick, and we'd sit in there and Don would say some crazy things.
Yes.
I mean, he was just awesome.
Character.
Such a good guy.
He was great.
So talking music, I'm just sitting here listening to the bumper music because you have a band that does Southern rock.
Yeah, it's called Southern Nights. It's a tribute band. It's we even down to the lighting behind us. It's a retro look from it's the music. I being from Savannah and Augusta. I was born in Augusta. It's the music I grew up on. I mean, those guys would just set up in the park and jam when I was a kid.
Sweet.
So it's great to be able to bring back some of that Skinnerd and Molly Hatchet and Allman Brothers and stuff. And who doesn't want to wear bell bottoms on stage?
They're coming back.
It's so comfortable. The breeze comes up to you. And it's great.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember when you were, because you've been in music your whole life.
Yes.
And when you were a kid, you were part of, was it Jim and Tammy Baker's?
Oh, yeah. The PTL Club.
Yeah.
We were Cutaways. My father's a minister. So we were a local cutaway for the PTL Club. So when you say, now we're going to take you to your local affiliates, and then there'd be Pastor Vernon is like, hi, everybody from Savannah. And we were the Cutaways for that. So everybody was kind of sad when that went away. And just nobody said anything after old Jim and Tammy got busted.
Old Tammy fate.
We just kind of moved on.
Yeah.
You know?
How crazy is that, man?
That's crazy.
So been in music your whole life. And you have another band too, right? It's Echo?
Echo, yeah,
Okay.
ECKO, and I'm sure that. Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. I know a lot of people in the Lincoln area notice we play around here a lot. Big Ten Sports Bar, and then outside before and after the games at the Embassy Suites out there. We love that.
Oh yeah,
hanging out with Husker fans.
And now you're going to be playing at Riffs.
We are.
We are.
Well, the salary for Echo just decreased by 2 members. So
yes, it did.
The math works.
Yes, it did.
Now, when the other members hear that, like, listen, we're going to kind of take your percentage. No, it's still the same price for Echo, and we're going to take your percentage out of that. So, yeah, but it's fun to be able to bring the music that you've shared with others to your own venue. We were really excited. But 2 things we were excited about is bringing the band there, because the community's excited about bringing live music back to Wahoo. That location used to have live music. I think probably 10 years ago or so. They were famous for it in Wahoo. Bringing that back was the first thing we were excited about. The second thing we were excited about was a little self-serving maybe, but not really, because we were just looking forward to pleasing people who had been to the old property before and seeing the look on their face when they come in and see a complete refurb like this.
Sure.
Because to them, I mean, I saw the messages. I liked the old bathrooms. I'm like, no, you didn't like the old bathrooms.
Who likes the bathroom, good or bad?
Right. Like, what is that?
Right.
I went there for the bathroom.
Well,
right.
Okay.
Well,
You got
both
other
the men's,
problems.
Come for the cheeseburger, stay for the bathroom.
Yeah, it was a very intimate experience. Let's say that. Non-ADA to say, to say the least.
So Wahoo is 5,000 population, right?
Yeah,
20-some thousand in the county.
Yep.
Plans to draw from Lincoln, Bennington, Gretna, Elkhorn. I would think so.
100%, especially for folks that like to cruise on Sundays. So that is such a destination cruise for people that like to Sunday bike.
Yeah.
But yes, I guarantee that it will be worth the drive, the easy drive from either Lincoln or Omaha.
Yeah, because it's not that far. It's maybe 25 minutes from Lincoln. 30 minutes at most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's not far.
It's about a half hour from the middle of Lincoln and Elkhorn, Nebraska.
And it's even closer to Fremont. And Fremont could be a good draw too.
By the time I drive downtown find a parking spot, walk to the restaurant. I could be in Wahoo.
I tell people that all the time.
Let me write that down.
I smell a jingle. Yeah, there you go. Put that to music right away.
Walk with me.
I tell people all the time, because living in Panama, they go, God, you're so far out there. I go, you know what? I can get to the north side of town faster than you can living in Lincoln.
Yeah.
So,
and you've got some sweet things on the menu here. I was just kind of looking through.
Yeah, let's talk menu.
An one of the appetizers is meatballs. Love that.
Yeah, that was
great.
the Adam Sandler effect there. That's a good meatball from the Wedding Singer.
Yes.
Yeah, and it all tastes great. I've sampled. Unfortunately, I've sampled everything on here.
Well, you're doing fine. You look great.
And so she keeps cooking for me. The chef was already on duty before all the other staff, so that she could practice. But yeah, I think the features are that it's a good restaurant burger, right?
Yeah, that's really important. Actually,
it is.
I think in every restaurant,
it's
if
a
they have
chef
a
test.
good burger, man, everything else is going to be pretty good.
My wife makes so much fun of me because every time I go to a restaurant, I get a burger.
That's
I want
Tom
a burger.
Too. That's Tom too.
Well, it's
always.
a chef test,
Yeah.
actually. One of the things that chefs do when they're hiring other chefs, make me a burger. What
Seriously,
kind of burger?
That's interesting.
Yeah, what kind of burger? You just make me a burger.
Yeah. Make me a good burger. I love it.
No joke. I went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, had a burger. Had a burger. And it was pretty dang good. Yeah, it was crazy.
What
Shannon thought I was nuts, but
did she have the beef crusted?
The Wellington.
The Wellington.
Yep,
yeah,
she had the Wellington.
She had the Wellington,
and she won. It was definitely better than the burger.
And you have breakfast all day.
That's
always good in a bar.
So you can never go wrong with that.
So differentiating factor on the menu is definitely the breakfast anytime. So it's very fun for people to say, we don't serve breakfast, but we serve breakfast all day because we're not open for breakfast. But we're going to serve breakfast, Belgian waffles,
it's wise,
cinnamon rolls, eggs, omelets, pancakes, French toast, all that stuff. We're going to serve all day. So you can come in. I think, what are the hours for Mondays? You can come in and order on 11 p.m. on Wednesday. You can order a Belgian waffle.
Love it.
And eggs.
Absolutely love it. We have a break coming up. I'm going to look at the menu because I haven't looked yet.
So
that's
all
I'm
I've been
look.
doing.
I want to see if there's some
really
crazy stuff on here. So you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, talking with Brian Eckleberry at Riffs out of Wahoo, and we will be right back after this.
1400 Lincoln's entrepreneurs, one conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And we're back on the 402 Business Insider. Brian, I'm looking over. I love that you brought some of that Southern flair because my dad's from Mississippi, so I grew up chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Nobody has chicken and waffles, and everybody around here goes, chicken and waffles.
Until they try it.
Me, the first time I heard it, I was like, which is not that
It
long
does.
ago,
It sounds bad.
And I'm seasoned. So I was like, where have I been? But tried it and went, oh, yes.
Yeah, buddy.
That is definitely a big up to my old girl Gladys Knight. You know, you got to serve chicken and waffles because she had the most famous chicken and waffles from where I'm from was Gladys's. And so, yeah, had to do that, had to have some of that stuff. And the experience that they might take away from them is if they, order one of these, split it, everybody try it. We're going to do a waffle burger, which is a sweet and savory Angus beef hamburger on a waffle bun. So talk about
that'd be good.
That
would be good.
Meats and people forget how sweet and savory does go well with meat.
It does.
They forget it until they taste it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're going to put something sugary on that? It's like, you don't realize how much sugar is in A1 sauce.
Yeah.
Or Heinz 57.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're doing sweet and savory all the time. You just don't realize it. So it's really natural, that sweet and savory, when you put that breakfast burger together. So you're going to be very surprised how much you love that.
Nice.
Yeah. Pancake sandwich, waffle sandwich. I'm loving it looks good. Now I'm hungry.
And
right. Right.
Travis, I think us are working together. We love synergy, and we love working with other folks that might have similar interests. Wahoo Bakery did say that they're going to supply our cinnamon rolls.
Oh, nice.
And they're a great local bakery. And so we're going to feature those in the restaurant.
Oh, very nice. So I've never been there. So, but yeah, it's always good to have local businesses because there's so many local businesses that can support a restaurant. And most restaurants don't think of them.
The artists right across the street, they came in and decorated one of our entry windows that has a piano on display that's decorated by local artists. So we love our attorney's right around the corner. My barber is right around the corner. I get my nails did, and Annette gets her nails did around the corner.
You get your toes done.
I do get a little petty. I do a little petty. So, and there's a hardware store right downtown. There's a great local hardware store. Can you believe that? And I'm in there 8 times a day, easy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's great.
You got to love it. It's almost the perfect size of town because where we're at, it's only a couple hundred people. There's very few businesses, but you're in a big enough town where there are businesses, there are people there that can help. I mean, how fantastic.
Yes, but no, Travis, I'm not going to run for mayor.
You don't want it. I'll bet you it pays more than mine does. Mine pays $88 a month.
Yes.
$88 a month.
That is awesome.
Yeah, you got to love that. I make about $1.80 an hour. No joke.
Or negative 10.
Well, we would love to have the mayor of Panama come in and try a waffle burger and some waffles.
Absolutely. Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah.
And the first lady.
That. And the first lady of Panama. Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, my God.
She would love to hear that.
Shannon, the first lady.
I'm anxious to try that waffle burger. That's going to take some technique to keep it, doesn't soak up all over the. I mean,
we had to overcook the Belgian waffle a little bit. Yeah,
which could be okay. I mean, I'm interested to try that.
To use the quote from Clark Griswold in Vacation, yes, we needed to make it non-permeable. Are you the one that designed that non-permeable Belgian waffle? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God, yes,
give me a paper on that.
Layman's terms.
Layman's terms.
None of that inside. Well, we can't go for the rest of that.
That's funny.
So you got cheese on the waffle burger, right?
Yeah.
Sweet and savory sauce.
Yes.
Is that a homemade?
It is our invention.
You guys do your own sauces? A
lot of them. Yes. Yeah. Using, of course, everybody has to start with, maybe I've got some mayonnaise and stuff like that. So we're not making our own fresh mayonnaise. No, but the aiolis and stuff that come from that. Yes, we are making those fresh. And even we're not buying bagged chicken tenders. So when the kids come in, I want chicken tenders, they're not going to appreciate it, darn it. But those things are hand breaded and they're delicious, which means, sorry, kids, your parents are going to steal your chicken fingers because they're that dang good. Yeah.
And get them on waffles.
Yeah.
You can.
We got another break coming up here. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. We're talking with Brian Eckleberry at Riffs out of Wahoo.
You're listening to 402. Where Nebraska business owners tell their story. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And we're back for the last segment of the business hour. Want to thank Red Rhino Roofing, brand new sponsor. They were on with us a couple of weeks ago and decided that they loved the show. And the UPS stores. So most people think, like I said, they think that big brown truck. They actually do a lot of printing. So this is good for you, Brian. If you need new menus printed up or business cards, they did the thank you cards for the 402. They're just fantastic. Go check out the UPS store. And they're everywhere. There's 5 of them in Lincoln, locally owned. Good guys, good company. So, all right, Brian, how do we find, when is the actual, because you're not open yet.
We are not. We're putting the final touches on it. We're training the staff. We want the staff to be ready to welcome people in there and so that they have a good experience. So the staff, we just had our first staff meeting yesterday and they're really excited about going, but we're not open. We're opening May 15th, which is a Thursday.
Good deal. So 2 weeks away. 2
weeks away. We'll have live music that night. We'll have live music all that weekend. Great food. The hours, let's see. If you come in, we're going to be closed Monday and Tuesday. Come in Wednesday through Thursday. It's 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday, we'll go from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. So a.m. to a.m. right there with the live music and the patio. And then Sunday, we're going to open early so that people can come in and have brunch.
Have a little brunch. Yeah. I like that.
8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that is going to be a really fun experience for folks, especially folks that want to road trip and go shop downtown Wahoo a little bit and then have
an
brunch.
acoustic guitar player, sit down at the piano.
And you know what?
Morning music.
Right after church. Music. I mean, everybody's looking for brunch after church too.
Yeah,
so
I like brunch before, during, after church.
Yeah.
I like brunch all day. That's what makes this place so perfect, man.
At some point, it becomes It becomes Linner.
Yeah,
it's Linner. Now we're in Linner. Is that or center supper dinner? I don't know. At some point, it changes. Yeah,
and then late night snacks, and I can have breakfast all day. I can't have breakfast, but I can have breakfast all day.
The to-go containers will be microwavable.
Oh, there you
So
go.
you can
That's a great idea.
take home a bunch of Belgian waffles with you. It's no problem.
I love it.
I love it too.
Absolutely love it, Brian.
Riffspub.com.
Okay.
Riffs, RIFFS pub.com is where you can find us.
Facebook
Fantastic.
page the same. Riffs.
Yeah, it is.
Riffs and all. Okay.
Very good.
So, have you contacted David Letterman? He'd be a great spokesman. For
Oh,
your
yeah.
First opening.
Top
Remember
10
him with
list.
Wahoo all
Yeah.
the time.
The top 10.
I can't
Wahoo,
wait.
Nebraska.
They don't promote it as much as they used to, but yes, the home of David Letterman's top 10 is Wahoo, Nebraska. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I want to have you back here in a couple of months after the opening
I'll cook
and
for you.
just see how it goes.
Yeah.
So we absolutely love you coming in and
Thank
are excited for you. I can't wait to get up there the 15th.
May 15th.
May 15th.
May 15th.
2 weeks
Pleasure
away.
meeting you, Brian.
You
So,
too, Gary.
Riffs-
Great seeing you.
riffspub.com. Thanks for listening. I see Robin in the window, so stay tuned for Grow Lincoln, and we will catch you guys next week.